to my channel. And what are we doing today? Before I get into the dice challenge, let me get those disclaimers out of the way and then hop into it. Of course, before I get started, I do have those disclaimers to get out of the way. I live near a major highway here in the country of Belize, so you will hear those motor vehicles in my background. Where I live, there's also a lot of wild birds. You may hear them calling, chirping, and crying in the background. And thirdly, I have dogs. I have dogs, my neighbors have dogs. So if anyone comes in this neighborhood, you will hear those dogs, including my own, start barking. And with that, I get back to my regular scheduled program. Okay, so as you can see, today we're doing the dice challenge. Now, what is the dice challenge? The dice challenge is basically you get your dice and you label something out from 1 to 6, which is the amount of dots you have on a single dice, and you let the randomness of the dice choose what you want to do. Okay, but for today's challenge, I decided to ask the dice what medium it wants me to use. I have 6 mediums all planned out: watercolor paints, watercolor pencils, watercolor markers, alcohol base markers, colored pencils, or pencils and charcoal. So I asked the dice which one of these it wants me to use, and let's roll it, shall we? Let me shake it all up. Shake it up. It's shaking. There it is. Shaking all up. See, it's shaking. And let's 2 watercolor pencils. Now, because I have a little collection of art supplies, I decided to ask the dice when I chose a medium I want to use, which exact medium, which exact pencils it want me to use. And that's what is written on these purple papers here. So it chose watercolor pencils. Here we are, watercolor pencils. Now we're gonna ask the dice which watercolor pencils it wants me to use. I have a few. I have the Milan Aquarelle, the Crayola, the Faber-Castell Albert Durr Magnus, the Derwent watercolors pencils, the Derwent Aquatone, and the Marco Renoir watercolor pencils. So let's shake it all up again. We're shaking. As you can see, it's shaking in there. It's shaking up. And we're gonna ask which one it wants me to use. Ooh, 6. So those are the Marco Renoir. So these are the Marco Renoir watercolor pencils, and they're one of my favorite set of watercolor pencils, mainly because it's my only set of watercolor pencils I have in 72 count. I believe the largest amount of watercolor pencils you can get in this brand is 100. Don't quote me on that one. I think it's 100, but I have the second to the largest count here, which is 72, and I really like this for the color range it has. And it's lovely. I've worked with them before. I enjoy working with them, so we'll be working with them today. And also, I already have my illustration here all pre-lined up, all pre-drawn up. If you are a member of my Patreon, I believe this is a part of your reward for the month of, I think this one is for the month of May, if I'm not mistaken, either April or May reward. So you can have this also, and you can color along with me. So now that we have discussed our illustration that we're going to be using and our medium that we're going to use, why am I still blabbering? Let's get to the coloring. finish, boy, that was a process. I think I took 3 hours to render this piece. The thing that took the longest was actually these areas here, the sky and the water. That kind of set the tone because the other areas are kind of small, but you actually had to wait until this dries for me to get into it. You saw me wearing my little gloves here. They have these to sell on Amazon. Very inexpensive. I kind of used them because I didn't want the oil from my hands to kind of upset the entire drawing when I was rendering the backgrounds, because I didn't want, I wanted color, because I noticed when oil from your fingers get placed onto your surface, it leaves the mark and it kind of makes the area resistant to accept color, and that's what I wanted to prevent. So that's why I was using my gloves. But all in all, it was actually a relaxing process. I was watching some stuff, trying to relax, just doing it away. And that's why I kind of estimate. I was like, okay, how many programs, 1 hour programs did I got through? Like 2.5. So yeah, it's about 3 hours. So but all in all, it was fun, guys. I really did enjoy it. It was beautiful. I love this. If you like to color along with me in this process, this is available as your reward in my Patreon, so you guys can always have access to it. And I forgot how lovely these Markara Noir color pencils can be. And if you guys want, I'm gonna put this up on my Instagram, the Dice Challenge, for you guys to participate in. If you want to participate in it, I'm gonna actually put it up. You just roll the dice and see what medium you can use. And if you don't have all these mediums, you can also make your own dice challenge, as you can see I did. And with that, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. And as my little friend said, bye.